Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make this gorgeous bracelet right here. I'll show you a close-up of it. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I put a lot of work into it. Now, the beads that I'm using to make this bracelet are from Potomac Beads Best Bead Box XL. This is October's box, and I know this tutorial is late, but that is because I ran into some complications. When I first started making this bracelet, I thought I counted the right amount of beads that I got in the box to make a design like this, and so when I started working on the bracelet and I got near the end, I realized I was missing a quad bow, and I thought I lost it, and then I went and watched my video and I realized no, I just miscounted my beads. So I had to go on to Potomac and reorder, and I'm like, you know what, while I'm there I'll get it in a second color. So I already had the black quad bows and Pieduos, and I ordered the jet bronze color because it is like one of my favorite colors, and I had to wait for them to come in the mail, and then when I got them I had to work on redesigning it more and try to make it like make sense and just like really work it how it's made, because it is actually a very advanced, complicated design this here is, and it's made with one needle, not two. So anyways, I got the design just right, but I was not happy with the color combinations that I had from the box, because I always try to make a project for you guys using just what's in the box. So if you get that subscription, you can make the same exact beads. I will show you all the beads that I used from the box and the color combinations I had in a picture right here. Okay, so that's what it looked like, and it was okay to me, but I was not in love with it. And I thought that I would do a second bracelet since this design was so complicated for me to design, and because these beads here, they have 4 holes. And so I changed the colors around, and I came up with a white and black, hematite, metallic. It's just a really neat, like, classic color mix up here. And this one I did with beads from my stash. So let's go ahead and go over the list of materials. I'm thinking this is going to be a long tutorial, and I'm sorry, I always try to make my videos as short as possible, but this is like a class. I really should have, when I started all these videos, I should have called it a class, because really that's what it is. I'm teaching you guys how to do something from beginning to end. For the list of materials, you're going to need to cut about 10.5 feet of 8-pound fireline. I did do 10 for this one, but it was a little short. I had maybe 4 or 5 inches of tail to tie in. So just to be safe, do 10.5 feet of 8-pound fireline. And you're also going to need 14 quad bow beads, 28 Pieduo beads, and these are the brand new beads that Potomac just came out with, in case you didn't know, and also 16 Rounduo beads, and all 3 of these are made by Potomac, and so is the cut button, and I believe that you can only get them at Potomac, and I will have links to all of these beads that I'm using to make this bracelet down there in the description bar, so you guys can make this same exact bracelet, because you can no longer get October's box. Now you're also going to need 4 8mm round beads. I'm using Czech Drux. 18 4mm, these here, Czech fire polish beads. 80 Toho demi round beads. These are really cool. If you've never seen them before, they're kind of like an O bead, but smaller. And this is the 80 size. They also come in 11/0. Okay, so 80 Toho demi round beads. And then 80 seed beads, and I'm doing 3 different colors of 80s, but you don't have to. You can do 1. I'm just doing 3 to make the bracelet pop, because of how I have the beads laid out in this bracelet. I have white in certain areas where the beads are darker to make that section pop and stuff like that. So anyways, you're also going to need 11/0 seed beads, and you can do Miyuki or Czech, same for either one here, 8 or 11, Miyuki or Czech, and a cut button. And did I mention that I was using a size 10 beading needle? Because I actually realized I didn't write that at the top of my list like I usually do. So this is the list of materials, and I will put links to all of these beads down there below in the description bar. This is going to be a very epic design, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to remember all the steps, because it is a lot. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, I'm going to start by taking and picking up my quad bow. It has 4 holes, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to pass my needle through just like that, not the end hole, but one of the middle holes. Okay, pull the tail through, and then we're going to leave a 6-inch tail, and then take the needle and pass up through the other hole in the middle there. Pull all that through. Okay, I'm going to find the 6-inch mark, and we're going to tie a knot to keep this bead stationary. Alright, there's 6 inches, but I could actually go a little bit more longer because I did add another half a foot of thread because the other one I did was a 10-foot. Okay, so that's good right there. So I'm going to take and do an over and under. I'm doing a surgeon's knot like this. Bring that knot down. Okay, and then over and under twice. Once and twice. Bring that knot down all the way. Pull that tight. Okay, now this is secure. We won't have any slipping. We are totally done with the ruler. Well, later on you might want to measure it, but this here, this whole beaded section from here to here, I believe was exactly 7 inches. So this bracelet is like 7.5. If you want it to be longer, you would not do a button, or you would do a bigger button, because this cut button is very small. You could do a massive button, that would make the bracelet longer. I do normally wear an 8-inch though. I prefer that size, but this here does fit me. And because it is so wide, it is a little snug, but you can also make it bigger by adding a toggle to it. So there's a few different ways you could do it. The bigger the clasp, the bigger your bracelet would be. And you can't really add another one of these sections here because it would make it way, way, way too big. Unless you're like maybe a size 9 or 10 bracelet. So anyways, so I have this here. Okay, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass up through one of these holes. I think I'm going to go over here because that knot's really close to that hole. Go up the bead like that. And we're going to pick up seed beads for our button clasp. Okay, so I'm just going to scoop some up. And here's my button. I think I did 8 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then I'm going to go through my cut button like that. Pick up 3. If you want, you can do 11, an 8, like I did in this one, and then an 11. It's up to you. Slide all of these down. Okay, and then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass through the other hole right here. Okay, and then put all of this tail through. And then pick up 8 seed beads again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Double check. Yep, okay, so now I'm going to go through the other hole again, like that. I did realize something. I kind of didn't mention that I have it this way. Okay, see the direction of the curve of my bow? It's going this way. That's how it starts. When we go to do this square pattern here, it's going the opposite way. So we're making this first. So you want your quad bow to be going in this direction. So you're tying the knot inside of the bend, I guess I would say, of the piece. Okay, and then the next thing, I think it's actually going to be some time before I need these again, so I'm going to put those back over there. The next thing to do, we're going to work with these demi rounds. They're so cool, and we're going to work with those and one of these and 8 seed beads. Okay, I'm going to pick up a toho demi round. Okay, and then a Rounduo, the 2-hole round bead, and then a demi round. Okay, and then 3 8 seed beads, my 8mm round, 3 8 seed beads again, 2 and 3. I'll slide this down. And then a demi round, and then a rounduo, and then a demi round. Okay, and then a quad bow, and I'm going to go up through one of the middle holes. So that was a lot of beads we just picked up right there. Slide all of these down. Okay, we have this. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass down through this hole right there. Hold it like this between my fingers and pull all of this thread through. So I'm going to grab that loop there. So how I did that, it's going to be just like stripping my thread. Okay, so you want your quad bow to be down here, and then pull all your tail through. Okay, so I now have this. Then I'm going to pick up a demi, and I'm going to go through this rounduo, like that, and then another demi, and 3 8/0 seed beads. And then I'm going to go through this druck, round bead, 8mm round, but I'm going to go through it this way so that the 8/0 seed beads kind of go around this, almost like it's a Y, I guess I would say, a Y shape. Like this. And you're going to have to fidget with it because it wants to act all weird. Okay, and you'll have to grab this here, pull this very tight. You don't want any slack. We can't adjust it here anymore because we tied a knot. So right now, if there's any looseness, now's the time to do it. And I do like to use a pin or an awl, and if you can grab this loop here, if it's loose, if yours is loose, pull that up and then pull this tight. But mine looks great, so I'm going to continue on. So now I have to pick up 3/8 again in a demi, and I'm going to go through this rounduo bead, like that. Okay, pull that through. Now see how it's kind of doing that right there? So I just have to pull that, pop that bead out right there. Okay, because we want it to surround the 8mm like that, almost like it's bezeling it. And then, is that my tail? Oh, okay, I see. And then pick up another demi, and we're gonna go up through this quad bow. And while I'm at it, let's see, do I go this way? I think I want to. I'm going to pass up through all of these seed beads and through the button. We're going to reinforce this. I know I'm going to have trouble remaking a tutorial on this video, on this project, by the way, because there is way too many steps. I don't think I've ever made anything with this many steps in my life, other than maybe that journey bracelet I did. But that one just seemed a little more easy breezy compared to this one. This one's really crazy. Okay, so I went through there. There's several times I kept having to back out, so I might actually have to do that in this video. I'm going through the top there because I saw that I did something one way, and then I saw, wait, if I did it this way, it'd be better. So I had to back out and go a different direction. So I might do that in the video. That's just how crazy this bracelet is, okay? And then I'm going to go down through all of these seed beads like this, and back through the quad bow. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is turn this around. So I'm holding it like this. My tail's coming out of this one, going in that direction. I have to go back up through this side of the quad bow, and I'm going to come out of one seed bead, 111, like that there at the top. Okay, so pull all of that tail up through there. Okay, pull that tight. And then I'm going to get some 11-0 seed beads. And I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, 2 11s, and go down through this hole here in the quad bow. Okay, so we haven't actually gone through this hole yet. And then pull all of my thread through. So it looks like that. Alright, and then I'm going to need my Pieduos, and I need 4 of these. Okay, I'm going to pick up an 11-0 seed bead, and I'm going to pick up a Pieduo going in this direction. Okay, so coming out of here, I'm going to skip these beads right here, and I'm going to go through the center 4 8-0 seed beads. Just like that. Go through there. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up a Pieduo again, but this time I have to pick it up this way, so I'm reversing the direction. And then I have to pick up an 11-0 seed bead, and I'm going to go through my quad bow right here. Okay, now since we're coming out of this hole, we're actually going to start the next pattern, but we're going to leave it and we're not going to go back to this and continue on this. But I kind of found it'd just be best to do it this way. So right here we are. Okay, we're coming out here. We're going to add the Pieduos in here. Now I have to make sure that I go through them the right way because I screwed this up so many times that I designed this. I'm going to pick up the Toho demi, I don't know why I can't remember them, and then pick up this bead. I'm going to go through the pointed side, if that makes sense, just like that. And then I'm going to pick up one 8-0 seed bead, and I'm going to do the white color now. And then I need another Pieduo, and I have to go through this side again. So I'll just go like this and show you. See how there's the rounded side and the pointed side? I'm going through the pointed side, seed bead, and then going through the rounded side so that I'm coming out the pointed side. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up another demi, and then I'm going to go through this hole. I've had a lot of distractions today. The phone ringing. Oh my gosh, my thread getting caught on my chair. Okay, just like that. So that's the inside right there of the next section. Okay, and I need 2 of these again, and so I have to pick up a seed bead to start this because I don't have one here. And then I'm going to go through the rounded side, come out the pointed side like this. I'm going to go through 4 8-0 seed beads on this side, just like on the other side. Going through here. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go through this one there again, the pointed side, and then I need an 11-0 seed bead, like that, and up through here. Okay, so this is what I have. So I'm going to pick up seed beads on this side, just like I did over there. So 2 seed beads. I'm going to go through the top 11-0 right here, or should I say the bottom 11-0? However you want to look at it, really. Okay, I'm just going to go through this for now, like that, because then I have to figure out which direction to go after this. Let's see. Alright. Hold that tight. And then I do need to be coming out like over here, but that's not yet. Let's see. I have 2 thread paths through that button, so I'm not going to worry about reinforcing that again right now. I think I can do it again later. So what I'm just going to do is go up through like this, through the quad bow and through that top seed bead again. Okay. Pull it tight, turn, go through these 2 seed beads, and then I'll just go straight through this quad bow to save myself some time, because I'm doing the backstroke with my thread here, and then pull through there, and then I'm going through all 4 of these beads at once. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up an 8/0 seed bead. I'm going to do this white color because, like I said, I planned out the places that I have 3 different colors of 8/0s I'm using, but I kind of planned out like the best places to put the colors so that the colors pop. So I like to put the white right beside the dark colors because it pops. Look at that. If I put a dark color there, it would just blend in with everything else because there's a lot of dark beads right there. So I did the white there. And now I'm going to be doing these silver 8/0s, and I'm going to be doing these round duos. So a silver 8/0, a demi, a round duo, a demi, and then a silver 8/0, like that, going through right here. Okay, now I have to make this side look like this side, so I have to pick up an 8 and a white, and then I'm going to go through this seed bead and up through like that. Okay, push that down, flatten it between your fingers so it looks like this. And I have to get over here. So to do that, I'm going to have to weave. I don't need to go up here. I'm going to be going up there later, so that's kind of a waste. I'm going to go down through like this. Okay. And if you ever have any tight spots, use pliers to get through. That's what I do. But if it's like too tight, you might want to try backing out and going back through because you could be piercing your thread. I've noticed that. Or you're twisting your needle around the thread that's inside, and that's why it's too tight. And if it's super duper tight, you're probably going to break your bead, which I have not had any problems with that in this bracelet. Okay, so now I'm going through that hole, so I'm just zigzagging around because I have to get back over here. These quad bows are incredible beads, I have to say. Very ingenious idea. There has been so many multiple hole beads coming out that I actually was kind of getting sick of it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is just a money-making scheme. But I have seen like a few of them here and there that are really incredible. And I would say that the quad bow is definitely up there on one of the most amazing multi-hole beads. And it has 4 holes, like a quadrilateral. And I don't think many of them have 4 holes. It's usually 2. So here is another 8/0 I just picked up. I'm coming out that 11 right there, okay, zigzagged around. I'm going to place this bead here so that it matches my other side. Pull all the tail through. My thread is starting to get shorter, so it's not as bad to work with as it was at the beginning, like that. Okay, and then a silver 8/0, and then a demi, and my round duo, and a demi, like that. And a silver. Okay, and then through here. Okay, that tail just likes getting in my way, doesn't it? Another 8/0, and then through here. Up through this quad bow. I don't know if I want to go through those seed beads yet. I have to plan that path out. Okay, I didn't go through the seed beads, just the quad bow, or the seed bead and the quad bow, but not the seed beads there on top, because I gotta figure out where to go from here. I'm kind of thinking that I should reinforce this again right now, but I might be able to do it later. But so far, this is what we have. It looks cool, just like that, doesn't it? Okay, so I think I will reinforce this again. I already have 2 thread paths there. I can see them. So coming out here, I'm going to go through these 2 seed beads. Now I do believe that I will be coming back down this way again later on, because what I do is I start working down here. I make this one, that one, so on, all the way down here. Okay, then I make my loop, and then I decorate the outside edge. So I will be making another turn back around down there later on. Okay, coming out that seed bead, I'm going to go back down. Now, it may be a little tight and you may come out the demi, which I'm going to do that. Just to show you what to do if it's too tight and you have to go through the demi. Okay. Okay, so I had to go through the demi because it was tight right there. But that's okay, because all I have to do is go like this, and I can go back through that demi. Okay. And then I'm going to go through the quad bow, and then I'm going to go up through, let's see, all of these seed beads, and I might have to scooch that top there around. I had this problem when I did my first bracelet. That seed bead there wasn't lined up. Okay, there we go. I got that. And I should have got my pliers in case I need to wiggle myself out of a situation. Okay, down through this seed bead. I say down, but really we're just going sideways. I'm really struggling today. This video is crazy, and I have so much going on right now. I'm trying to get ready for Thanksgiving and everything. Okay, so going down through all of these, through the quad bow, and out that demi. Did I really make it? That just seems so smooth. Yeah, I did. So really, it wasn't tight there for me. It's just the angle. Okay. Now I have all of this beaded up. I don't have to do anything to this. So I just really, right now, I need to reposition my needle. So I'm coming out that demi. I'm going to go through this Rounduo, and if I can, through that demi. Yep. Okay, we're repositioning our needle right now. And then through these, I'm going through 4 seed beads right there. And then I'm going to go through this Toho, and then through this Pieduo, and then through that 11-0. I don't know if I get to the quad bow too, so I'm just going to go through these. Okay, and then through this quad bow, and through that demi. We're trying to get out that white 8-0 seed bead right there in the middle. Okay, and then through the Pieduo and through the 8-0. We're now in position. I think my favorite part of this entire bracelet is decorating the outside edge, because it's the less confusing part. I'll just say it like that. Okay, coming out of that 8-0 right there, I need 3 white. I'm going to do a silver, a white, silver, white, silver, white, and a silver. So, just like this, okay? I have 4 silver here, 3 white, but that's because I have this one here. So I actually have 8 seed beads in total. I'm going to go through this 8-0. I'm going to make a fancy center. See that right there? This one's going to pop out more. The other one was kind of dark. But because I have white here, it's going to pop. You know what's weird? When I made this bracelet, I think it was with that one too, I only had like all of those 4mm beads. That's all that I have of that color at exactly the right amount. I make projects like this sometimes where I have just enough to make the piece. It's weird. Okay, so this is what I have right now. I'm gonna go through this silver bead, and I'm gonna go skip that white one, and I'm gonna go through the next silver, like that, because it's gonna make a diamond shape. Skipping beads does that. Okay, and then I'm gonna sew down through this silver one, and then through the next silver. Pull that tight. You want to pull this tight before you go through the next beads, because I don't know why, but before I didn't do that, and it wasn't right. It was weird. Okay, so I'm going to go through the silver and out the white. Well, through white, silver, white. Okay. Just like that. That's our center. Now I'm going to lay this down, and we need 3 quad bows and 2 Pieduos. Okay, I'm gonna go through a Pieduo, and it needs to be laying like this. So take the needle and pass through your Pieduo like this. Okay, and then pick up a demi, and then we're going to be picking up a quad bow, but it needs to lay like this. Bowed out, not inward, because bowed inward would make a circle, but we're into squares here. So I'm flipping, at least today we are, I'm flipping over like this, and I have to go through this hole. Okay, so if you look back up here, you can kind of see, going through there, slide this down, so that it looks like this. And then I need 4 of these. Yeah. I'm going to pick up an 11, a white 8/0 seed bead, a demi, a 4mm, a demi. Oops, that just went flying. And then an 8/0, like that, and an 11/0. I can't lose any of these. Like I said, those are the only ones I have in that color. I really like them. They're AB hematite. Okay, that's the pattern. You don't have to do the same colors as long as they're the same size beads. It'll work. And then we're going to pick up another quad bow, and it's going to be going in this direction. So I have to pass through it like this. Okay. You know, it helps a lot when I design things to lay the beads out in the pattern that I have in my head, and then I can figure out what side of the bead I have to go through. Okay, so right there is my demi. Picking this up, I'm going to take the needle and pass through the Pieduo, and it needs to be like this. Okay, but my needle's also going to go through that 8/0. So through there. And I've actually done that in several of my tutorials where I've laid the beads out in the order to pick them up, so you guys can get an idea of what I'm doing. Okay, so there we go so far. Maybe I should zoom in. You can't see my bead tray though if I do, but I think that's okay because I'll put the beads here. I'll scoot this back. There we go. Yeah, I'll just get the beads out of the tray as I need them. Okay, so coming out here, I'm gonna have to pick up a Pieduo like this. Now the Pieduo are always touching these 8/0 seed beads in the center, but after you come out and you're at this point in the Pieduo, then you have to pick up a it's called a golly, demi. That's what it's called. Good grief, I don't know why I can't remember them. They remind me of O beads. I want to call them O beads. Okay, so I just laid that down there. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through this quad bow. Hold that tight. Okay, we now have this. So I have to repeat this pretty pattern here again. 11/0, 8/0, demi, 4mm, demi, 8/0, 11-0, like that. And then I need another quad bow, and I sit it down to make sure that I go through it right. I have to go through it this direction. Okay, so it's going to lay like that. And I'm going to pick up a demi. I have to pick my whole bracelet up now. And I'm going to go through this Pieduo, through this 8-0 seed bead, and then through the next Pieduo. Okay, lay that down again. Pull that tight. Pick up a demi again and go through the side hole here on the quad bow. It's like a puzzle. It's what it is. Beading's always been a big puzzle to me. Okay, now I already have some of my bead sequence here, so I'm not going to pick this all up. I'm going to do an 11-0 this time, the 8-0 demi, my 4mm in a demi, just like this, because right here on this corner I already have an 8-0 and an 11-0. So I go through them like this. Go through, get through there, go on. Okay, like that. Did I just pierce the thread? You know what? I'm gonna have to go through the 8-0 first, and then turn, because it's a really weird angle, and go through the 11-0. Alright, there we go. And then pull all of these through. And it's going to close our square up some. Look at that. It's looking cool. Now we have to trace our path to get back over here to close this side up. And then we're going to stitch up to the top and add this part again. So I have to go through this quad bow right here, because that's normally what we would do in this weave. Okay. It's kind of like the ring I made last. How I showed how to close it up. How you would follow the same stitch pattern to close it up. It's just you're not picking up beads anymore, just seed beads. If you guys saw my last video. And then out of here I'm gonna go through the Pieduo and through that white 8-0 seed bead, tracing the path that we already went before. Okay, and then down the Pieduo and the demi, almost there, and then through the quad bow, and then turn, because we have to go through this 11 and this 8 like earlier on that side over there. Okay, pull all tight like this. That's what we have. So we have to close this area up. Now I'm already coming out the 8-0 and the 11 right there. So I have to do a demi, my 4mm, a demi, a white, a seed bead, like this, and then go through here, the quad bow, and while I'm at it, I'm going to pick up a demi, because it's going to go in between here and it'll save me some time. So I can put all my thread through together. And look at that. Okay, but we're not done yet, because this part here is not connected to this. So I'm going to take this needle and I'm going to go through this 8-0 seed bead. Okay, now we need to exit out of this quad bow, and if I go this way, it's going to make me loop around here like that, and I don't really need to do that. So I figured that the best thing to do is actually go this way, so I come out here. Okay, so through these 2 8/0 seed beads and that Pieduo, like that. Up through the demi and the quadbow. There we go. We now have another section. We have 2 sections done. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do this again, because this was at the very beginning, and adding this here will be different. At least I think it's different. And I feel like this is a complicated design, so I want to make sure that you guys can do it. So coming out here, I have to actually reposition my needle so I can pick up the center beads like I did before. So I'm going to go down the quad bow, down the second hole, because we're coming out the first hole. Okay, and then I'm going to come up through the third hole. Now I feel like the stressful part's sort of over with, because we already have 2 sections made, and all we really have to do is look back at what we've already done and follow the pattern. It's like a puzzle, like I always say, it's like a puzzle to me. So seeing here, I have to pick up a demi, okay, and then a rounduo, and then a demi, and then I need 3 8/0 seed beads, like this, and then I'm going to need my 8mm round bead. I'm using a Czech truck. I get that from a bead subscription. And then 3 8/0s again, and a demi, and a rounduo, and a demi, and another quad bow. Now this one here is turned that way, so this one's going to be the same way, because if you look back here, see the direction? So I have to go through my quad bow like this, through one of the 2 center holes. Okay, we now have this. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass through the second hole in the quad bow like that. And you know what? To save time, I'm going to pick up a demi and go through this rounduo. Okay, and then I'll slide these beads down again and pull my thread. So I like to pull that down and then pull my working tail like that. Okay, and you have to snug this up. Make sure this is tight. Okay, that's what I have right now. I'm going to pick up a demi again, and then 3 8/0 seed beads, like that. Go through the 8mm, like this. Okay, so that it looks like that. And then pick up 3 8s again, and a demi, and go through the rounduo. And like I did earlier, to save time, I'm just going to pull this out a few inches, pick up a demi, okay, and then pass my needle down through this quad bow. And then I can pull all my thread through at once. Okay, and then just do some adjusting right there. It always does that. So pop that bead out. Pull this tight. Just make sure it looks good. Alright. Looks tight. Looks great. They actually look like they're already connected, don't they, the sides? Okay, so coming out here, I'm going to turn around and sew up through this side of the quad bow now. Go up through that 11/0 seed bead. This is getting loose, so I'll pull that tight, and then go like that. Pull that all tight, and now we're going to need Pieduos again. I'll flip it over. I already have an 11-0 right here. Earlier we had to pick one up to do this part, but this time we're not because we already have one. So I'm picking up my Pieduo now, skipping all of these beads, and I'm going to go through the center 4 8-0 beads like that. Okay, and then pick up Pieduo, and then an 11-0, excuse me, because we don't have one here. Okay, we don't have an 11-0 here, so we have to pick one up, go through here, like this, and we're just going to start the side of our square here again like we did before, so I will need 2 more of those for that side. And I'm going to pick up, I need more of these, I'm going to pick up a demi. I'm going to go through the pointed side of my Pieduo like that, and then an 8-0 seed bead, and then through the rounded side, and then another demi. So you want it to look like that. Slide those down and go through this quad bow side here. Okay, and I'm just gonna try to hold this flat and pull my thread through. Okay, and then over here I have to copy this side on that side right there. So coming out, I have to pick up an 11. That one is really weird looking. I need a better one. Pick up a 11, one that doesn't look defective, that'll mess up your design. And then a Pieduo, go through the rounded side like that, and then pass through 4 of the 8-0 beads that are in the middle. Like that, and then a Pieduo, go like that for the hole, and I'm going to go through this 11 and into the quad bow. Okay. Now, where am I? I need to get back up through here. I need to come out of the white 8-0 seed bead, and I can't do that coming in this direction. So I have to sew up through this quad bow. Try not to go through the demi. The demis have big holes. I've actually used them on cord. So you might be able to push them down with your fingernail if you can't help it. You can back out of it. Okay, I got it. Like I showed earlier, you can just go through it and then pass back through it again later, so you're not coming out of it. Just don't forget to do that if you do have to go through it. Now I'm going to go through the quad bow on this side. Okay, we're just repositioning our thread so we can add more beads. I'm going to come out this side, and I'm going to go up through that 11-0. Okay, I'm going to go through this 8-0. I like doing this part right here. How I connect these 8-0s to the Pieduos, I feel like it keeps this piece more flat, if that's making sense, because I'm connected to it in 2 areas. Okay, then through the Pieduo. Okay, and then looking back, we're doing this part again. So I need a silver, a demi, I need 2 of these, a Rounduo, a demi, and another silver bead. Like that, through this Pieduo, okay, a white. Now pick up a white 8/0 seed bead. Go through this 11, you'll have to bend it. Through this 11 here. Through the quad bow. Like that. Pull that tight. I'm gonna go down through. I have to come over here and put these white beads in and silver right here. So I have to reposition my needle. So I'm gonna go down through this quad bow. Okay, then up through the next hole. And I'll turn this because I'm pulling it in this direction. And then I'm going to sew up through the quad bow and through this 11/0 seed bead. So again, I'll hold it like this to pull it in this direction. That's what I'm doing now. Okay, and then an 8/0 through the Pieduo, and then I need a silver 8/0, a demi, a Rounduo, demi, silver, through the Pieduo right here. Okay, so this section is complete. Well, almost. I have to go through here, through this white bead, and then it'll be complete. But then I'm trapped back here, so what do I have to do? I have to reposition my needle. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, let's see, did I do that before? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna go through it then see. I feel like there's actually a bunch of different ways to do things throughout this bracelet, and there are a few of them that are the best way, but the other ways aren't that great, but it does make the bracelet up, if that makes any sense. I don't know, this is just something weird. I've never experienced a design like this before. All the things that I went through to make this, it was crazy. Okay, so coming out here, I was thinking, what if I went up this Pieduo, okay, through all these 8/0s, through here, because I have to come out here. That's the goal, right? But I don't actually have a thread path right there. Well, I do, but it's going through that 11/0, okay? What I could also do, so I don't make a new thread path, is go through this 11/0, swoop around through this right here, do a turn, and then weave up through here, which that's probably the way to do it. But I do think, even though I would be making a new thread path, I do think that this would work, and I want to say that's what I did before. I think I'm going to do it this way. Let's see. There's two different ways I could do it. I see it. I will be making a new thread path here, but I don't think it's going to affect it, and it's because I have a thread coming out of that 11/0 right beside it. Yeah, that's totally going to work. So if you look closely, there is a thread coming out of that 11, okay? But now we have a thread coming out of this 8 going up on that side. But it looks like it's laying flat and it's not affecting it. So I'm going to go with it because it's quicker than me going down through the quad bow, turning around, coming up through here, and then going through the demi, the Rounduo, and then weaving all back up there when I can just make a turn right here. And then, how I'm doing it right now, I'm actually able to pass through a lot of beads at once. The other way, I was just jumping all over the place. Okay? But yeah, I don't normally recommend to make a new thread path because it can warp, but with this one, it's okay because I have a thread nearer, right beside where I'm going through. I hope this all makes sense to you guys. I know this is a tough bracelet, But if you're able to watch it, I've always said this, if you're able to watch what I'm doing and you understand it from beginning to end, then go ahead, make this bracelet. You can do it. Okay. So we made it to the goal, out that white 80 seed bead. And it's looking good. It's flat. That's the goal. We want it to be flat. Okay, now I need silver seed beads again, and I need 4 of those and 3 white. So silver, white, silver, white, silver, white, silver, like that. 4 silver, 3 white, because there's already a white here. That's my 4th white. It's actually a total of 8 80 seed beads. And like I said earlier, you can do all one color, but I like doing multiple colors because it's just all detail. It makes it look really detailed and stand out. I'm going to go through this silver 80, and then I'm going to skip that white one and go through the next one. Okay. Pull that tight. Go through this silver, skipping that white. And then go through the silver down here. And like I said before, you want to pull it tight right here. For some reason, if you don't pull it tight right here and you go through the next bead, it fusses. It'll fuss. Okay, going through this white, through the silver, and through that next white, but with the angle I'm at, I can't, so I'm just going to go like that. Go up through that white there now. Okay, now I'm going through all 3 beads. Okay, just like that. I'm going to show you how to do the square again, and then I think I'm going to leave you guys to do this by yourself, because I know this video will be lengthy, and I will come back and show you how to do the last part right here. Okay, because this here, you have to make this a certain way in order to put this loop on. Okay, so right here I am. We're doing the quad bows now. We need 3 of them because we have one right here. Okay, and we need 2 Pieduos. Okay, coming out here, I have to go through a Pieduo, and I have to go through the rounded side, like that. Okay. This will be flipped that way, and I have a quad bow that's going to be going down here. It has to be laying in this direction, and I have to pick up a demi and then go through the quad bow, right here. I tried making this, by the way, when I first designed this without the demis, and it didn't work. It was too warped. It was warping really bad, and I knew 11s wouldn't work, and I had demis. And I only have them in like 3 colors, so it worked out pretty well with the colors that I have. Okay, so there's the quad bow. And then we need some more 11s. We need some more 8s in white. And we need 4 4mm beads. Okay, then the pattern is 11-0, 8-0, demi, 4mm, demi, 8-0, 11-0. Now I have to pick up another demi, and this one has to lay like this, bowed out. So I go through this hole like that, okay? And I'm going to slide those down and pick up a demi. And I'm going to go through this Pieduo and also through that 8-0. Pull all this through. Okay. So it looks like this. I'm going to pick up a Pieduo, going through the rounded side. This is my last one for this area right here. And then a demi, and then another, wait, no, I don't pick up the quad bow yet. I have to go through that one I just added. That's right, because I have to connect this wall. So I'm going to go through this quad bow, the one we just added. Okay. So it looks like that. Pull the thread tight. Okay. I have to pick up this loop of beads again. So 11-0, 8-0, demi, 4mm, demi, 8-0, 11-0, and then we bring in this quad bow and we have to go through it like that. Slide that down and then a demi. Okay, and then I'm going to pass through all of these. Make sure this is tight. I worry about loose thread all the time. I'm a very uptight person, I guess I would say. Through this Pieduo, this 8-0 seed bead, and through this Pieduo. Okay, I should probably lay it down like this, because that's the way I've been doing it all this time. But, goes like this. Okay, and then like that. Pull that tight. Take the needle, pick up one demi, and connect this quad bow to the Pieduo. Just like that. Okay, now I have to do this loop of seed beads, or, well, yeah, seed beads and a 4mm. I have to do it right here. But remember, I already have an 11 and an 8 here, so I'm not picking up all the beads this time. I'm going to do an 11, an 8, a demi, a 4, and a demi, because there's an 8 right here already. So through this 8, okay, and then pull your needle out a few inches and go through this 11. And if you can, go through the quad. Let's see, I might have to do just the 11 though. I think I will, because it feels a little, I have like a right angle here that I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through that seed bead. What I have. And like I said before, this area here, you have to follow your old thread path. So I have to go up through the quad, through this demi, okay, through the Pieduo, I'm gonna go through this 8-0, down through the Pieduo, okay, and then I have to, oh, I just went the wrong way. Going back out. Okay, so I'm coming out the 8-0, and I'm supposed to go through this hole in the Pieduo. I went to the wrong side. I went to the right bead, but I went through the wrong side of the bead. Okay, so through the Pieduo and then through that demi. I told you guys I was bound to mess up. And then through this quad bow, following our old thread path. I have to get out that white 8-0 seed bead right there. That's our goal. But first I have to go through this 11. through the 11, through the 8, okay, lay that down. Hope that looks good to you. Hope you like it. And then I have to pick up a demi and my 4mm. Oh my gosh, I thought I lost it for a second there. And then a demi. I ran out of those. And then an 8/0, and then a 11/0. Okay, because I'm working with those right there, remember? And then I have to go through this quad bow. And I'm going to do what I did before, pull this out a few inches, pick up a demi, and go through this Pieduo, and then just pull all of this thread here through, like that. Turn, go through this 8/0, because this Pieduo is not connected to that yet. Sometimes I feel like the piece tells me what to do next. I don't know, this might sound weird to y'all. But I could just, so a lot of the designs to me, when I start designing them and making them, I could just see what I have to do next. Without thinking, it just kind of comes easy to me. Okay, now this here piece is complete, but we have to reposition our needle so we can add this again. So to do that, I'm going to go through this 8/0, through the silver, and through the white. Okay. Up through this Pieduo and through the demi, through the side hole on the quad bow. Okay, now we're in the quad bow, but we're not ready yet. We still have to reposition because we have to start picking up our beads in the middle, not on the side of the quad bow. So I'm going to sew back down through this here, but I'm going in the wrong direction. So I have to go up to the second, should be going in the correct direction, so we can add this part here again. So I'm gonna stop here and let you guys do this by yourself. You're gonna want to rewind the video to where I came out of this square, okay? So right now where I'm at in the bracelet, I think I was holding it this way, okay? So where I'm coming at right now in this quad bow, rewind the video to where I'm coming out down here, okay? And then you can watch me remake this again and remake this again, okay? So keep doing this. I'm back and I did the pattern 2 more times, as you can see, and here I am. I strung on these beads. You're going to want to string the same ones on. I just did mine to save time, but string those beads on there just like you normally would when you make this section again, okay? But now we're going to be stringing on 11/0 seed beads because we're going to be making the loop there. So whenever I do these cut buttons, I've found that I don't count my seed beads when I do this for the loop because different name brands will take a different amount because not all brands are made the same. They're not equal. So I measure them. So what I do is I measure 1.25 inches plus 1 extra seed bead. So 1 inch, 1/4, and 1 extra seed bead. That is the perfect amount for the button loop. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is take my needle and pass back through the quad bow, but I'm going to pass through the second hole like this because we need this to be a loop. So I'm going to lay this flat and I'm going to hold this here in place so it doesn't loosen up on me. It's going to loosen up some, but we don't want it to loosen up real bad. Okay, there's my loop. And now I'm going to pick up a demi and go through the Rounduo. So normally when I did this part and I had to loop around and come back through here, I would just have a thread there on the top. But I realized that when I went to go do the end, that instead of just having a thread going around there, it's the perfect time to add in my button loop. And I did mention earlier that you can make this bracelet with a toggle clasp or a lobster claw if you wanted. Toggle would probably be better though. Okay, so I have a demi, 3/8, and I'm going to go through my 8mm bead. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to loosen this, not loosen, I'm going to tighten this up because I don't want this to be loosened. Okay, so I'm just doing some adjusting there. Okay, and then 3/8 and a demi and through the Rounduo. It's going to flip like this. Okay, and then a demi, and I'm going to go through this hole right here on the quad bow, and then I have to, there we go. I want all of those beads to sit just right. Okay, like that. Looks great. Now I'm going to take my needle and go up through, there's a hole right here. There's a hole somewhere right here. I know there is. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm going up through that side of the quad bow. I have to go out through this 11/0. And I'm just going to continue doing this. But I'm going to be doing this differently, of course, because it's a closure now. So I'm going to pick up my Pieduo, and I'm going to go through 4. Okay. Ow, I just poked myself. Pieduo again. And a seed bead. Go up through here. Now, coming out of this hole, I have to repeat it the same way I did this one, so they match. So I have to pick up 2 11/0 seed beads. Okay, and I'm going to sew down through the first seed bead. Like that. That's the first one. Okay, and I'm going to come out the bottom there of the quad bow. Like that, and then come up. I'm not going to reinforce this loop yet. I can do that later. Oops. I did not go through my first seed bead. I was supposed to do that. Come on. Okay, there we go. Got through. Okay, pick up 2 11s. Down through the quad bow. I'm getting stuck on things that are around me. I don't know why I am, because my thread is not that long anymore. I will slide my needle down because I did have a lot of slack. Okay. So right here I am. I'm going to pick up an 11, a Pieduo, go through 4, 8, oop, pull that tight, Pieduo, 11/0, oops, no 11/0, that's right, I already have one right here, so just the Pieduo, and through this 11/0, and also through the quad bow, if I can. Can I get through there? Yep. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it. This is what I have. It looks great. I'm going to pass up through this hole right here. Don't go through the demi. If you do go through the demi, if you have no choice, you can back out. Okay, and then down through the next hole in the middle. It's underneath this demi. There we go, right there. And then through the quad bow, through the 11/0, through this 8/0, through the Pieduo. I want to call it Pieduo because it kind of looks like Pieduo. Okay, and then a silver, Ado, a demi, a Rounduo, demi, silver through here. Don't tie knots yet. Okay, a white Ado through this silver and out through the quadbow. Okay, this is what I have so far. Okay, now I'm going to go through these two 11s. We have to reposition our needle, so I have to go down 1 11 into the quadbow. Okay, and then back up this quadbow and up through that 11 there. Through these two 11s. And then I'm going to sew down through the quadbow and through this 11. Pick up an 8. Go through the Pieduo. Make sure it flips and sits like that. And then pick up an 8 that's silver, a demi, a Rounduo, a demi, and an Ado, silver. Okay, and then through the Pieduo. Alright. Now I have to connect this to there because there's no connection point. I really feel like that's needed there. And I'm going to go through that 11 seed bead. Wait, not the 11. Back out, back out. Just through the 8. I was thinking of something else. Doing something else, and then I realized. Alright, let's see. That looks great. Okay, so this here is complete, right? But I only went through there one time. So I have to zip back up through here, reinforce this. So I'm coming out to 8-0. I'm going to go up through the Pieduo, through these 11s, through that Pieduo, through that 11. Can I do all that in one shot? Yes, I can. Look at that. Before I pull that tight though, or pull that through, I'm going to pull that tight down there. Okay, and then pull that tight. And then up through, you know what, I made the wrong turn. I'm supposed to be coming out the middle. So I'm going to go back through this 11. Excuse me, I told you guys this bracelet was a challenge to design. But it's okay. It's okay. It was bound to happen. But at least I caught it. Okay, I'm going to go through this 8, through the demi, through the Rounduo. I'll turn around. Okay, and then up through this demi, up through the 11-O's, in the loop. Do as many as you can in one straight shot. Okay, this is going to be our second path. I do like 3 to 4 paths. I'm going to do 3 at first, and then I'm going to figure out where to go from there, because I have to do some thinking. So, let's see. Down through all of these. Not through the quadbow, not the demi bead. The dummy bead that I can't remember. That's what I should call it, dummy bead. Because it just totally escapes my mind. I don't know why. Okay, that's 2 paths. I'm going back up through the quadbow again, and through all of these again. Okay, this is the 3rd path. This usually is the most, I guess I would say, a high traffic area for the bracelet to break, something like that. It's always the clasp. Okay, down through the quad bow. There I am. Okay, that's 3 paps. Now I gotta think. If I do my 4th one here, if I don't, how do I do the sides? So coming out the quad bow, I have to loop up through here, come out through these seed beads, start adding the decorative edge. I go all the way around here, zigzag. Okay, and then come back down here. And then when I come through, I do have to reposition again because I don't have to go, I want to see. I think I'm going to do the 4th one now. So I'm coming out that quad bow. I'm going to pass up through these seed beads a 4th time. I cut extra thread, so I should be fine. When I say extra, I cut half of it extra because the first one I made was with 10 feet of thread. Okay, so this is my last pass through here. Out through the quad bow. Okay, now the next goal is to add beads. We need to either be coming out these 2 seed beads or these 2. We are currently coming out of this quad bow, so in order for me to do that, I can't go this way because I'm coming down through here. I have to go up through here and then turn. So up through the quad bow and the first seed bead. This is why I love 8-pound fireline. I used to do 6 because that's what everybody recommended, but it just seemed too weak, and I went to 8 because I had no choice, had to buy 8. And I'm like, whoa, this 8-pound is so much better than 6. Why is everybody stuck on 6? I can use 8 on all of the ones that people say to use 6-pound on, and it's stronger, and it's my favorite. I also use 10 a lot too. Okay, so I went through those 2 seed beads right there. Okay, I looped down, came up, went through that first seed bead, came down through those 2. Now I'm ready to decorate the outside edge, so I'm going to get all my beads ready to do that. Okay, I'm back, and we're going to start filling in our seed beads here on the side. By the way, it does look good, just like this, but I feel like adding the beads, as you can see, this one looks a little bit more thinned out, that one's more filled in. I like it more. Okay, coming out of these 2 seed beads right here, I'm going to pick up 4 11s and go in through this white 8-0 seed bead. Did I twist around that thread? No? Okay. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so see how that hugs around there? Makes the end look nice. Then I'm going to pick up 3 11s, a demi, an 8, a demi, and an 11. Like that. I'm going to go through this Rounduo and 11, a demi, an 8, a demi, and 3 11s. So I think I said this earlier, I don't know if I've edited out or not, but I said how this was my favorite part of the bracelet because it was the easiest. Okay, so there's my beads. I'm going to go up through this 4mm, out through the 11. So I'm passing through all of those beads right there. Okay, pulling that through. Sits like this. Now this part right here, I felt like this looked really weird with the holes exposed, and I had to use up all 4 holes, right? We couldn't leave those holes empty. What a waste that would be. So I'm gonna pick up an 8 that's white, a demi, and then a 4. Okay, and I'm gonna go down through this hole, the second hole, not the first one right there, but the second one. So down through this. Okay, so it's going to do that number right there. See how that bead's sticking up funny? So I have to pass through this hole now. Okay, the second hole. Pull that snug and then go through this 4. And it straightens that bead out. See that? Come on, camera. Wasn't that awesome? I like how I did this part right here. And then a demi and an 8. Just like that, and then I sew through all of these, okay, to get through the next part. So pull that through there, and that's what we have. So I'm going to be repeating this part here again, and I probably will fast forward through this or edit this out. Not now, but in the future I will. So 3 11s again, a demi, an 8, a demi, and an 11. Like that. And I think I should stop and show you how I did the other one. Okay, so you can see my color pattern there on that one. But this one I did 2 matte ABs, a purple, a demi, an 8, a demi, and then a purple seed bead. That's how I did that one. I had a really hard time finding the colors to put this one together in the sizes. I don't know what it was. This one here was kind of easy breezy. But that one there, because I really wanted to use those purple ones. Oh, and by the way, there are dark purple ones in that box, if you did get that box, that you could use for this. There was 4 of them. So I have an 11 coming out of here. I need a demi, and then an 8, a demi, and 3 11s. Go through this 4, demi, 8, and through that 11. That's what I have. Again, I'm at this point, so I have to do an 8, a demi, a 4mm. I'm gonna go through the second hole in the quad bow, pull that through, and then go through this one, and then through the 4, circling around like that, pull that tight, and then a demi and an 8, and then sew through all of those. And I repeat this again. Alright, so here I am at the beginning. I'm going to take the needle, I just picked up my beads, I'm going to go through this white one. Oops, that was close. Through this white one, the 8-0, we're just going to mirror what we did to the other side, like that. 4 11-0s through these 2 11-0s. Okay, and here is one side completed. That's what it looks like. Now, I think, how many threads did I do? Maybe 3 here? I have to sew down through this 11 and through the quad bow, but I don't know if I want to reinforce this area again or not. I don't know. there I am. So I'm just going to pass up through the quad bow and through the first seed bead. I don't think I need to reinforce this button again because it seems too tight. I probably could do it, but coming back around, I think that will be too tight. Right now is not too bad. Okay, and then I'm going to go through these 2 seed beads. And here we are, we're going to do this side now. The same way as we did the other side. We start out with 4 11s through this white 8-0. Okay, and then 3 11s, a demi, an 8, demi, an 11. Repeat. Three 11s through here. Alright, so I'm just going to keep going, filling in this side just like we did over here. I'm just doing it on this side now. Alright, I am back all the way down here. I have my last 4 seed beads come out of this white 8-0. I have to go through these 2. And then I have to sew it back down into this seed bead, the first one, and then through the quad bow. Okay. And then I'm going to sew up this side of the quad bow up through the first seed bead, and I'm going to tie my knots in the outer edge. It just always seems easier to do that. Okay, so then through these seed beads, through this one here. I'm going to try to get in front of the 8-0. Okay, and I'm going to tie my first knot right here. So I go through this loop, pass the needle through it twice, bring that knot up. So I keep going. You can tie knots in front of 11-0s, especially with this size thread. But if you have a longer thread like I do, I probably have a foot, maybe 11 inches, you can just tie the knots in front of the bigger beads. You can tie it in front of the 8-0C beads, in front of the demi beads. That's probably what I will do. Like, I'm going to pass through this 8-0 here, all these 11s, okay? And I'll tie a knot right here again in front of the demis. Then I'll pass through here, through there, I'll tie a knot in front of this, pass a knot through there, and I'll just keep going, doing that, tying as many knots as I can, reinforcing the outer edge here. And then what I have to do is take my needle off of this side after I reinforce, and I have to pass up through this quad bow right here, come out that top seed bead, then turn and go down through this side. Now, if that's too tight, if you can't get up through this quad bow and through that seed bead, what you can just do, let's see, I have to turn it this way. You can go through this demi, through that Rounduo, through that demi, through these 8-0 seed beads, go through the quad bow, not the quad bow, Pieduo, right here, okay? And then you're just going to want to try and get over there, so I think I would go through that 8-0 seed bead, and then I would then be on this side, and I can tie my knots on that side. But I don't know, this is shorter. You might have to start tying your knots in here. I might have to do that because I only have a 6-inch tail here. So I probably will, if I can't go up through here like I said, I probably will start tying knots in front of the demi and then tie some knots here. You know, just try to do your best. And use up most of your thread and you'll be all done. And my bracelet's a little wacky because I've been bending it like crazy, but look at how cool they look. They're really pretty. I'm so happy I got a second color, because if I didn't, I would go nuts trying to remake this bracelet, only being able to do such a huge project like this one time. But since you guys watch this video and you have my instructions, you'll be much better off than I was, because I was doing this project from scratch, just out of my crazy brain. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, I will have links to all of the beads that I'm using here down there below in the description bar. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.